Hi Science Explorers, thanks for tuning in to Discover at Home, a series of science experiments and activities that you can do with an adult or an adult's permission at home. Today we are going to experiment and create art using science. So once you grab an adult and their permission, gather the following materials to participate in this activity. You want to grab a small, thin, flat lid. So I've got a couple different examples here. Anything that looks similar to something like this, a lid at home. You want to grab some food coloring, a toothpick, 1 teaspoon and 1 tablespoon, some glue, 2 small containers, a wooden stick, and some water. And the last thing you'll need to grab is some dish soap. So once you've talked with your adult, gotten their permission, and we encourage them to participate if they would like to, or if they feel like you might need some extra help. And you have a safe place to do your experiment that will not get super messy. Let's begin. You're going to take one of your cups, your glue, and your tablespoon, the bigger measuring spoon, and you're going to pour 2 tablespoons of white glue into your cup. You can use your wooden stick to get all that glue out. Then we're going to take our teaspoon and we're going to put 2 teaspoons of water and mix it in with our glue. You want to stir it up. Now, adding the water helps to thin the glue out, which makes it a little bit more useful for the experiment and art that we are going to make today. You want to make sure that it's all stirred up, and so the glue should flow a little bit more freely with that water in there. All right. Next, you want to pick your lid that you're going to use, and we're going to pour the glue mixture into the lid, but we only want it to just barely cover all of the bottom. Okay, we want it to be a thin layer on the bottom, not super thick. So I'm just going to pour just enough to get the bottom of mine covered up. So there's just a small layer on the bottom. If you think you got too much, you can pour a little bit back into your glue mixture, like that. Now, we get to be a little bit creative. Take your food coloring and you're going to put about 3 to 4 drops of food coloring onto your glue on the lid. So you should have just a few food coloring drops on your thin dot glue mixture. Now your next step is to take your other cup and put a little bit of that dish soap or dish detergent into a container. We're going to grab our toothpick, dip it into our soap, and then very carefully, you don't want to get too much, you're going to dip the end of this toothpick with the dish soap in the very middle of your colored food coloring drops. And see what happens. Then you want to repeat that process several times in each food coloring drop. when the dish soap touches the food coloring drop, it should branch out and form some really, really cool patterns. Once you have done this, what we're going to do is we're going to leave this to dry overnight. It's going to create a really cool pattern. It will dry clear, and then we will gently lift it out of the lid and have a really nice piece of artwork. So what happened? How is this science? Well, glue is actually a polymer. A polymer is a large molecule made up of many smaller molecules layered together in a repeating pattern. Think of it kind of like a chain of paper clips that are linked together. These long, flexible molecules are moving around in the glue and water mixture. When the food coloring drops are added, they are prevented from spreading out much by the combination of the water molecules in the polymers. Then, when you add the dish soap, the molecules in the dish soap are something that we like to call, they're kind of special. They have one end of their molecule that is hydrophilic, which means that it is drawn to water, and the other end that is hydrophobic or repelled by water. So the dish soap actually, those molecules help spread out all those really cool branches that you see in your art. I hope you enjoyed our experiment today. Thank you for tuning in to our Discover at Home stained glass glue experiment. I hope you tune in next time. Remember to follow us on Facebook and on Instagram to keep up with our latest activities.